And here we are. Welcome to the round 11 fan cams. After the party pies, get the job done today. 11 goals, 13, 79 to Carlton. 11 goals, 9, 75. A thriller at the MCG. Tell you what, we almost pinched it there. Tough one to swallow. But I guess if you're a neutral, you're probably loving that. That's as good as footy gets when it comes to atmosphere and energy and all of that. Jeez. Win, lose, or draw, we'll be here. That's how it goes. If you'd like to come on the fan camps tonight and say your piece, I'm going to put the link in the comments now. You can hit it, jump in, and come and have your piece. Just be mindful. We're very emotional right now. So let's see how this goes. G'day, Pommy.
Fuck me. I suppose shout out to everyone who stayed on the watch along. God loves you. Shout out to Domaku as well. Told him to ignore his forward line and bang a goal, and he did that. So good work, my friend. Good work. That game, I mean, you can look at the free kicks at the end, and you can look at that, but there's an old saying my pop used to tell me when I do stupid shit like piss on an electrical fence and get second-degree burns. Play stupid games, son. Win stupid prizes. Yeah, I mean, we didn't deserve it really in the end. I mean, it was once Wheatering went down, you saw what we did against Gold Coast. The boys went into their shells a bit. No one was afront of the ball in them contests. It came out too easy. The gap between the midfield and the defence and the forward line was always way too much. And in the end, it was just a bit too much. Credit to them. They showed a lot of effort to get back into that game. And it's more of a testament to where the Pies are than where we are. Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I mean, when your midfield has the hands on the ball and they've got no one to kick to and the spread is so poor, it happens. And that's a question for Voss. Do you know what I mean? It gets a lot tougher now, though. No worrying for what? Potentially up to 6 weeks. Gets a lot tougher. I'm sure the boys can step up and do it, but credit to the Pies. Do you know what I mean? Their game plan was impeccable, to be fair. We knew they'd take the game on. They'd play it quickly. They cut us apart on the rebound fantastically, which is what you'd expect. And unfortunately, we weren't at the races. A lot had to go wrong, I said in my preview. And a lot had to go right for them. When that happens, Wheatering's a big loss. And he's the heart and the soul of that team, I think. I think Wheatering is a lot understated in the calmness and reliability. And you saw it. Some of the midfield lost their head. They got a bit more conservative. That chip kick came back. How good's that to see the chip kick back? We haven't seen that all year. It was nice to see that fucker come back. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and say we didn't deserve it. We lost. There it is. We go again.
We go again indeed. I said the same thing before the game to people that I was speaking to. I mean, I actually spoke to Luke before the game and I said, I feel like we're the better team and it would take something a little unlucky injury-wise and us just being off our game for us to lose, and it happened. I mean, the Pies cut off I don't know if we'll give them credit. They cut off the corridor, especially in the second and third quarter. It wasn't really until the fourth that we really started using it again and playing that high-risk, high-reward footy because you kind of have to. Almost pinched it in the end. I tell you what, that sound of the crowd was something else, and that's footy. It is what it is.
Mate, I mean, that last 7 minutes, you saw the Voss game plan. Do you know what I mean? Champ starter was right. Carlton don't attack the corridor. They attack the win 88% of the time. But as we discussed in teams, that's actually a misgiven. We actually switch 60 out. And you saw that, and it did really well. But, I mean, you've only got to look at how side bottom got away so easy. Yep. Do you know what I mean? Carlton, when we're on our pomp, the midfield come and cover that. Do you know what I mean? The lines are tight together. There's handballs out. There's kicks out. It's a loss. It's a loss that's hard to take because, obviously, even Swoop Luke admitted we're a better side. But at the end of the day, that's Something that's not a surprise. Do you know what I mean? This league is very, very tight. As we saw yesterday, no one gave Fremantle a prayer. They can do it. Got to remember the Eagles beat this side. It shows you how close these clubs are. Do you know what I mean? So, unfortunately, do you know what I mean? Just wasn't good enough in the end, and you've got to live with that.
You do. We'll play them again, see how we go at the end of the year, and we've got some challenges ahead of us. And welcome to the beauty that is the AFL. This is the beauty of it. You can be flying 1 minute, and any side can beat you the next. So, to be fair to the Pies, go.
I will say one thing. One big takeout from that meal was our influence on them. And they hear and see everything we say. So when you do come on here tonight and you are in the comments, don't start saying stupid shit like pea-heart, soft, coward, things like that. Because at the end of the day, you nearly got them there. I saw it in the chat. We got behind them. I could hear you guys. You nearly dragged them there. They're going to be hurting. We're hurting. It simply wasn't good enough. It was another Gold Coast game. Do you know what I mean? And let's be honest. The Pies may celebrate like it's a granny. Do you know what I mean? Fair play. But at the end of the day, we've got the 8 to make. So it starts week off. Get there next week. Whether that's Kent, whether that's someone from the mid-season draft, whether it's a Durden, whether it's a Ballenden, these boys have got to get in there and they've got a job to do against Essendon. And we get another crack at these fucking idiots. Do you know what I mean? Another crack at these idiots. So let's make sure we get the job done 2 weeks' time. And hopefully Voss watches that third quarter and goes, all I needed was one fucking goal. One fucking goal. But there it is. It shouldn't have been that close, though. And I'm sure that's what Voss is thinking. I'm sure that's what a lot of you in the crowd and the audience are thinking. It shouldn't have been that close anyway. So it is what it is. It hurts. Almost forgot how it felt, doesn't it, to lose?
I know. We've been living in La La Land for a couple of weeks, haven't we?
Oh, well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, enjoy the victories, though. Enjoy the victories. And do you know what I mean? I'm going to be very excited this time next week, well, in fortnight. Who takes that position? Is it Kent? Yeah. Is it someone else? And let's fucking take it back. Do you know what I mean? Let's take it back.
Yeah, spot on. Pommy, we love you, mate. Thanks for doing that today. We'll speak to
I
you
love
soon.
you all. Thank you for joining the watch along. God bless. And enjoy what's left of your weekend. And go Blues.
Go Blues. Gox93 with the $15 says, hard pill to swallow. Doesn't help when you lose a player early on. 0-3 when that has happened this year. Learn from it and move on to the break and get ready for the Bombers. Absolutely. Get ready for the Bombers. Jad.
Hey, mate.
What's going on?
Mate, I'm not that upset.
Yeah, I get
I'm
you.
not. I'm not. Yeah. I'm not. I'm trying to process it all. I'm really just shattered about Wiedering because this the one player we couldn't afford to go down, mate.
Yeah,
and it's not just for this game; it's for our top 4 aspirations. Like that, right now, that looks shot, man.
Did they say if it? Because I mean, obviously, I was at the game. Were you at the game, or were you watching it on TV?
No, I was watching.
So, what's the extent of it? Because I've got nothing other than he got subbed out.
Yeah, well, there was two conflicting reports. The commentators were saying that Jacob said on the bench that he didn't think it was that bad, but then Vossi just said that it's on the major end, and that's a 6 to 8 weeker. Yeah, I know, mate. What can you say? Onto the performance, man. I'm so proud. That sounds stupid. I'm so proud of them, and it's due to the fact that they were able to get settled after Wiedering went down.
Yeah.
Came back, got the ascendancy back. And then the last quarter, I just thought we played as well as we could have. Like, sure, there were turnovers and things, but the spirit was there. The fight was there.
Yeah.
Almost won it in the end with 50% full-strength squad. I mean, what that last quarter shows me is that we're going to be okay. in the big games. Because like seeing us play under that sort of pressure, duress, that unfortunate circumstance with Wiedering and pretty much a spine gone, really. It's really assured me that we are going to be fine eventually.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be able to win games with these players out, and then I think we've got the spirit right. The spirit is right. It's an intangible, but I think it's going to be there. It's going to hold us in really good stead come the end of the year.
Yeah,
Because it didn't crumble. We didn't play like loose heads, you know. We weren't like the David Teague era. Oh, we're completely stuffed. What are we doing? You could see that the quick handballs out to the side, always finding an option. Like I haven't seen us do this sort of thing in a very long time. Normally, it's just a quick hack disposal, but there's a real methodology to what they're doing.
Yeah,
but it does suck to lose. But
it's all part of the process. You got to lose. You just hope that you don't lose against Collingwood and Essendon and in these big games, and you know, let them enjoy it. They deserve to enjoy every bit of it because they were great. The Pies were great today. You know, they do.
They do.
To be fair, they probably could have kicked away more in that second quarter or that first quarter where they really got on top and got themselves ahead even further. But yeah, I think there's something to be said that, especially in the fourth, we stuck to the system. We didn't try and just blaze away at any cost. You know, I think there was that moment where Walsh had the shot on goal, like Motlop was right there open. That's learning. That's just learnings for the future.
Yeah, no, 100%, mate. And like them, like as you said, let them have the success. It's probably their high point of the year, to be honest. They're much older than us as well. I don't understand this narrative that they're young because they're not at all. But yeah, let them enjoy it, mate. We've got top six to worry about. So I don't know. I'm honestly not too shattered that it was a loss to them, considering the circumstance, considering how many players we were missing, considering they fell over the line against a team against us. How many players were we missing, mate? Best 7 or 8, like whatever. Shit happens in footy. It's not. I don't think it's going to sting for too long.
Yeah, we're going to lick our wounds. Got to buy, and we've got to get creative with mid-season draft and whoever's left at the moment, and give it a crack second half of the year and see what happens. It's footy, you know. This shit happens.
Yeah, that's it, mate. That's it. I'll let you get on with it, man.
All right, brother. Take it easy.
You too. Bye-bye.
Tyson Maynard with a $50 donation. Thank you, mate. He says 8-3 at the bye, 4 to 5 wins to go. Love your work. Thanks so much, brother. That's super kind of you. Super, super kind. All right. I'm going to get a pie in. This is one of my good friends. His name, don't worry about his name, but I promised him that I'd get him in if they won. So here we go. John.
Tez.
How are you, mate?
Good. How are you?
I've been better.
Look, I'm in the car with another Collingwood supporter, a Bulldog supporter, and a fellow Carlton supporter. So we feel the sentiments nonetheless.
The Pies, mate, they were great. They were good today. You got to be happy with that.
Look, I can't complain. Look, there's no doubt about it that Weeders going down was a big loss for you guys. No doubt about it. So you can play the game out in your head 100 times, but he's honestly a difference maker, no doubt about it. So better for us, obviously, without him. But yeah, he's a massive out for you guys. Honestly, thought in the last quarter, I thought you guys were up and about. It looked like I messaged you on Facebook about 8 minutes to go, and I'm like, mate, get me on the podcast, let me loose. And I started to regret my words straight away because I thought, mate, these guys are up and about. And honestly, it was not a lesson, but definitely don't underestimate you guys by any stretch of the imagination. You played your heart out considering what happened, and you couldn't get your game going. It's no doubt about it. So, yeah, pressure was through the roof, and honestly, Walsh played half decent. Cripps couldn't get a contested posse. It looked like he was not getting tagged, but just there was so much pressure on him to perform, and everyone was looking to him to get a result. So, honestly, yeah, I'm just happy for a win, to be honest. But yeah, it is what it is.
Enjoy it. You deserve it. And welcome to your shining moment on the Blue Brawl YouTube channel.
Mate, I've been a follower for many years, so this is just like one of the moments that I'm just like up and about. So just, yeah, I'm happy to just be a supporter, mate. That's it.
Love it. Love it. Well, you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Get the replay on and go Blues.
Love ya.
See you, mate. All right. Liam,
Terry.
talk to me.
Oh, I'm a bit upset. Like, I'm not devastated. I'm not shattered. Like, as bad as what losing to Collingwood is, I'm not absolutely heartbroken. Especially with Wiedering going down. If we had Wiedering and lost, I'd probably be a bit more upset than what I am.
Yep.
But with how it is, it's a good learning curve. Again, you can't fault the players. They rallied very hard, and look, we nearly got there. Difference was 2 meters of Sauce's kick in the end. Really.
Was it close? Because I couldn't see from where I was sitting.
The angle on what the telly was, it didn't show how close it was. It was kind of a 45-degree angle from the telecast. So I couldn't see how close it was. 2 meters was a guess of mine. It could have been worse. It could have been closer. I don't know. But I was up and about when he kicked it. So it must have been pretty close.
I was celebrating. I'll give you the hot tip. I thought the place was about to. It was about to explode if you kicked that.
Oh, I bet it would have been. There's nothing better than beating Collingwood by 1 point. I'd rather beat them by 1 than 100.
Yeah. Ultimately,
But
at the end of the day, it would have been robbery if we won that game, because the Pies, they were the better team over the course of the 4 quarters, I think.
Their run and carry absolutely killed us, especially in the first, like the second half of the first quarter and the second quarter.
Yep.
Their run and carry, they were just splitting us apart. But again, just like the Pitnet injury, it took us a while to adjust to Wiedering going down. And I think at one point there, when just before Wiedering or just as Wiedering went down, we were 6-0 in terms of clearances. And then we just lost that midfield ascendancy. Like, why? Why did our midfield decide to play a different game when a key back went down? Play your game, and we could possibly win it. Well, we nearly did, no doubt. But why are the mids playing a different game when a key back goes down? We haven't lost a midfielder. It kind of shit me at a point there when Collingwood were just taken out of the middle. Darcy Cameron played a pretty good game out of the guts, but at the end of the day, a lot of our midfield clearances have come from opposition ruckman taps.
Yeah.
So why did we lose it out of the middle once Wiedering went down? It baffles me. I think Cripps probably thinking in his head, well, we've got to win it, because if it goes the other way, we don't have Wiedering. And that would have been for the other midfielders as well. Like, if we don't win this, we're pretty much stuffed because our pillar is gone.
Yeah.
So, look, the way the boys fought and did not give up is an absolute massive sign. But Wiedering going down killed us. And as soon as he went down, I messaged a few boys and I said, it's done.
Yeah, I had that feeling too, that sinking feeling.
Yeah. You know in your heart of hearts that there's a few players in the list where if they go down early in the game, it's pretty much written off.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to learn. I mean, listen, we've got to learn how to deal with it. We've done it. We've done it at times this year, whether it be injuries midweek or mid-game. Today was just a day, almost like the final straw before we sort of crumbled. I mean, I don't know if we crumbled. We still fought back, but yeah given Wiedering's, I think he's our most valuable player because of just how organised he has us back there behind the ball. And, you could see there were some holes that started showing up as soon as he went down. And, mate, we've got to buy, and then we've got to deal with it. We can't complain about it. I mean, we can, but we've got to deal with it and move forward.
Right.
Yeah.
Complaining gets you nowhere, and no one really wants to listen either. So,
correct.
And Bam Bam going down midweek or Thursday, whenever it was, that didn't really help us either.
Yeah.
That's a huge part of the midfield game gone.
Mm.
And we're looking pretty skinny in terms of key defenders right now. So, regroup, and that's the best thing about Carlton at the moment is we might not be able to regroup in terms of in the middle of a game, but a fresh game, we know we don't have him. This is the game plan now. The boys should be able to handle it pretty well against Essendon, pretty well against Richmond. And look, top 6 is still on offer. I think maybe top 4 dream is gone, considering we play Melbourne and Brisbane in the last 2 rounds. So, look, let's just hope we have a good second half of the year and we can at least cement that spot in the top 8 and play a good final series, hopefully.
Well said, mate. Good on you. See you next week.
Thanks very much,
Week after. See ya. Ugur with an $80 donation says the best forward Harry is out, the best defender Weed is out, our best ruck is out, our bull midfielder Kennedy is out, only lost by 4. Not bad, bright future. I agree, Ugur. I agree. There was another one here. Mike T with $8 says losses have to happen. So to be so stoic bodes super well for the games ahead, including finals. Stay upbeat, folks. Well said, mate. Very well said. Let's get through a couple more. Let's get through Brandon Stone. Hello, mate.
Anyone but this mob, mate.
No, I know.
And I'm spewing too. I'm in isolation. I've caught the spicy cough, so.
Oh, well.
I'm in isolation. I was meant to go today. Lucky I didn't, because I tell you what, there probably would have been a punch on outside. But, geez, it's hard, isn't it?
It's tough, because you have to lose. You know you have to lose, but...
It just has to be this mob done it. It has to be.
Yeah.
And, I'm not one to sit on hypotheticals, mate, but, Weeders doesn't go down. We win that any day of the week, twice on Sunday, mate, because... you see most of their goals, mate. There was never no forwards on leads. It was that kick that goes in that Weeder stops every time. Majority of the goals came from that, and a couple free kicks here and there. But geez, we got to lose at some point, mate. But they're still 10th, whatever.
Correct.
They're still 10th. They can talk all they want. It's funny. Last year, when we beat them, they were saying it's our granny, mate. Now they're acting like it's their granny. So. You got to take some,
100%. Well, I mean, look, we're at the bye. We're halfway through. We're 8-3. That was a bit of a pipe dream at the start of the year. That was maybe like best case scenario. However, we got there. But we're 8-3. Got to win 4 of the next 12 to get us into finals. We'll get our chance against them again last round of the season. Just a nice little butter up before the finals begin, and I think they'll get what's coming to them for sure.
That's the thing as well, mate. So as soon as Weeders got down, and I was listening to the fella just before, mate, as soon as he went down, I just had that feeling in my stomach, and I texted the group chat with all the boys, and I said, there's something about that doesn't feel right to me. And, from that, we were a bit off tap there, maybe for like a quarter and a half, maybe to the end of the second quarter there, because it's not only, he's a big pillar for us, but mate, as you said before, he's our most important player. Cripps goes down. We do have Bam there. We do have Chera. We do have Walsh. We have the likes to step up, mate. If Weeders goes down, that is huge for us. McKay goes down. Charlie steps up. Vice versa. Mate, he's I wouldn't say by far, but he's definitely the most important player to us. And I feel as well, besides a final. Mate, for some of these boys, that's probably the biggest stage that they're going to see. I feel Jackie Carroll felt the heat a bit. I feel Motlop probably felt the heat a little bit there. because mate, that crowd through me TV, I tell you, that crowd was rocking, mate. There's lucky there's not a roof on that joint.
Yeah, it was crazy. Charlie kicks that goal, and the belief starts coming again, and then the ball goes off Jack's boot, and then halfway through the air, I felt like everything.
Mate, I was swinging my scarf around, mate. I thought it went through. It must have been close. It would have had to been close.
Yeah, man. Yeah, well, it was about to blow up, and
I'm spilling, mate. I had a bottle of water. I reckon I'm going to lose my bottle. I just put a hole through the plastic from that bottle. Because I've seen that happen, and I'm just, mate, there would have been nothing better. You know, I'm in isolation, mate. I would have done another week isolation if we beat these blokes. I would have had another week off. But, no, mate, all in all, I feel, you know, to fight back in that last quarter, which is probably something that we haven't really done all that much this season. Usually the first half has kept us in good stead. You know, so to the third quarter was abysmal. That was shocking to me. The last quarter we fought back. So within that, obviously, is a great sign because we've held on, but we haven't really fought back in a sense, right? So as long as I've seen that, you know, and to Collingwood's credit, as much as it burns me to say, mate, that they did play well. Their transition was awesome, mate. They made us look stupid a fair few times in that game. Yep. But mate, I want to know your opinion. I haven't heard your opinion on the whole game. What's your take on it, mate? I'm bloody curious, yeah.
I think we got a little lucky after Wiedering went down because for the rest of the quarter, the Pies didn't capitalise. And then when we got ahead and we got to half time, I'm like, shit, like I didn't know how we were up, to be honest. And then, you know, there were just certain moments we just didn't make the right decision. People might talk about the potential high on Walsh at the end, but the moment before that, streaming into 50, has a shot, and rightly so, take it on yourself. But, you know, Jesse Motlop's right there. I just think it was one of those learning, harsh reality lessons that I was kind of talking about early in the season. Like, they're going to come. They have to come. You know, we've come from so far away and so far behind. You know, but overall, I think the fight and the spirit, like, you know, when we lost last year, there was this sinking feeling of like, fuck, are these guys like really committed? You know, whereas now, like a loss like that, like it hurts because it's Collingwood and there's a bit extra in it, but can't fault. I mean, you can fault execution errors, but I don't think you can fault their desire and their willingness to just stay together, which was going to hold us in good stead.
Yeah, and then that's the thing as well, mate. Like, I feel, you know, last season, the seasons before, I feel they would have taken this as a real hard loss. But I feel this group now, you know, with the personnel around and, you know, their mentality towards it, as we can all see, mate, I feel they're going to take this as a real lesson and hold it, you know, in future games, you know, similar to this, which I'm sure there'll be a few because, you know, I do believe we've turned that corner massively, and you know, we had a loss today, but mate, we're still back. We're competitive as ever. You know, mate, I'm 22. I've never seen Carlton play like this in my life. Yeah, mate. I told the old man moved up to Gold Coast. I said, mate, come down here in September. We're going to be pretty busy because I still reckon, mate. You know, that's 3 losses, but mate, I'm more than hopeful that finals is a lock for us now. You know, I'm probably jumping the gun, but mate, I can see in this group that there's just a willingness there just to be great. And I feel they've just gotten sick of, you know, being the laughing stock, mate. And I feel they're ready for it. But mate, what's the crack with Marchbank, mate? Is he a crack for Essendon?
I don't know. I don't think so because he got the bone bruising last week.
He did, didn't he? I heard something about his knee.
Bone bruising. They called it on his knee. I guess we'll find out this week. I don't know if you can just shove him into the ones just like that. He's just so underdone. I'm just mindful of his body where it's at. In a really weird way, we've got the timing is not as devastating as what it could be because the mid-season draft is on Wednesday. So do we just go and pick up, another defender? And because, Oscar McDonald's done. McGovern, I don't know if we're going to really be able to expect much from him this year. So we need to get another key position defender for sure. Do you throw Kemp into the side now and give him a run at it? Lewis Young, bit of responsibility is going to come onto him now. Let's see what they're made of.
Yeah, I feel Kempy. I feel he's going to get thrown in the deep end. But I feel he's the type of bloke to rise to that.
Yeah.
I reckon he'll do a bit of good for him.
Yep.
And I'd love to see. I'm a big fan of Kempy when he's on. As well as Stocker, mate. There's something about Stocker that just gets me fucking fired up, man. I don't know what it is, mate. I watch him and he's a brute, and I'm just thinking, mate, he's just that, local footy, just that bloke you always want to play with as a kid.
Yeah.
He just, mate, I feel he's an animal, and I feel that, mate, I feel he's a big part of this when we're on. But as well, as you said, mate, the bye is probably great timing for us as well, because obviously I'm pretty sure Jack Martin played today as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how he went. I haven't sussed it out yet, but obviously he's probably a chance for Essendon. But yeah, mate, we'll see how it goes. As long as Essendon comes up, mate, it should be a percentage booster for us, because you might as well start calling the Tassie Bombers, mate. So, mate, you know me. Any chance I get to slag Essendon, mate, I'm going to do it. Bunch of cheats.
Absolutely. Well, mate, enjoy. Well, not enjoy. Get the best. Get better. Feel better. Get out of isolation, and we'll do this all over again in a couple of weeks.
Done deal, brother. I'll speak to you soon.
See you, bro. Paul Sebastiani.
Oh, God. Flat as attack.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah. It just gets to a point where the injury threshold just eventually found us out, didn't it? Do you know what? I actually think that, I think the one thing, like when Wiedering went down, I think I was worried that we weren't, because we haven't really been able to deal with in-game injuries too well this year, if that makes sense. But, mate, the response after he went down was instant, mate. We hit the lead in the second term, and I don't think we can. The third term really disappointed me, because we're really conservative by foot again, and we tried to control the tempo across half back, and I don't know. As soon as we started to have to go in that last term, and we had to get some running behind the ball and some sprint in our legs, that's when we looked absolutely dangerous. Granted, probably Collingwood were out on their feet in the last couple of minutes, but we went for home too late. The move had to come earlier, mate. Like the move had to come in the third. And it's the moment we started getting that short, sharp ball movement, handballing it through and taking the game on and keeping the ball live as such, that's when we looked our most dangerous. I thought our small forwards were really, really disappointing for the majority. I know Pommy spoke about it, and we were adamant that, the lines with which we pressed up on Collingwood they didn't surge hard enough. And you see what happens, if you're not, if you're not positioned, if your gaps between forward, mids and backs are not tight enough.
Yep.
Mate, we got slaughtered on transition, and I think it was the most times we've conceded marks, or the most amount of marks we've conceded inside forward 50. So, look, I don't know if I'm glass half empty or glass half full. It's just hard to be optimistic when you've got, they're two of your most important players in Harry and Wiedering. Like, of all players to bloody be injured, like, fuck.
I know.
Geez, we just we haven't had any luck on that front for God knows how long, which is just disappointing. So, yeah, it's flat. It's frustrating. It's, but I hope this one stings, and it will.
Yeah, they need it. And you need it as part of the in terms of like the controllables, the controllables, still side bottom getting free on that fat side. It just
that was
way too often.
That was just our wingers. It's the Pep vacuum, the Pep Guardiola vacuum. Our wingers just kept getting sucked into the contest, which is that's all just discipline. Jack Carroll got caught up in the contest a few times, and he just had that moment in the last quarter, just the deer in the headlights. Really, he's still a fair way off the pace, I'd have thought. I was surprised that they didn't play Jack Martin today. I thought he could have been handy in that forward line against, Howe and the like. But I'm not really a fan of the Cripps in the ruck thing. I think we lose that drive out of contest when he's having to, partake in those duties. But I think it's just too part and parcel of Tom DeConning not being able to. I don't think he really. I'd love to know what his total time on ground was, because he didn't seem to be able to ruck for the majority of it, if that made sense. I thought he was still good, but just in the clinches when we really needed him. I'd prefer that Cripps does not partake in that ruck role. And I thought Charlie could have moved higher up the ground a little bit. He sort of like lost connection for maybe like the first maybe 2.5 quarters. Like he just wasn't able to get into the game, if that made sense. I know he's ended up with 4, obviously, some massive goals, but yeah, I don't know. Did you thought our forwards were a little bit point out? Like as soon as Wiedering went off, I think what did we concede? Like 25 scoring shots, something like that.
Yeah.
We had more inside 50s, and just one of those dirty days. Just
Dirty days. I had a look at the forward line at one point. It might have been in the third quarter, and it's very,
shocking.
very small.
Yeah,
very, very small. And yeah, if it was a Marvel game, maybe that's a different story. But we just didn't find a way. You know.
Yeah, well, I mean, if the forward line is very small, I mean, like that controlling high, long kick type of game, it's not going to work. And I know, I mean, the kick, that short, sharp ball movement and kick actually has to be there for you to hit it. But I think we needed to get Sard on the ball a bit more as well, forward of center. And I mean, I don't know. It just felt like today was just not going to be our day. As soon as Wiedering went down, I couldn't get into the game, if that made sense. I couldn't get optimistic about the game because it just felt like we were stemming, we were trying to hold back the damn wall from busting. And, I don't know. What do you say, mate? It's just one of those games where you can look back at it and think, well, injuries, does that cost us? Yeah, probably. But I just think it was our inability to take the game to them for longer periods, for prolonged periods. I thought the third term was really disappointing. Really disappointing. I thought we played into their hands and we didn't play, with the bravery that I expected us to today. Whether or not the moment got to them. And look, I don't want to single out blokes too, but I think we can all see that like Paddy Dow's just not up to it, unfortunately. I thought he was really poor today. His ball use and decision making is just a step off, and that's why he couldn't get a game ahead of the 5 or 6 other blokes. So I hope everyone calling for his name to get listed in the 22 can see that you actually have no idea about how football works, really, unfortunately. So that's why he's not getting the game, because you can't kick. Simple as that. We missed Kennedy through the midfield. We missed his ability to be able to take a mark, and I think Martin has to come in, to be honest. I think we lack a bit of a mix between that, aerial presence and someone who can snag a goal, when things aren't going their way. So, but yeah, not to single out, I don't want to single out Dow too much, but I thought he was, I didn't think he took his opportunity at all today. And he got found out, and that's why he's not been playing. Simple as that, really.
Yeah. Well, big week ahead. We'll unpack it, and then we'll get to the bye.
Bye has come at a perfect time for us. It's good. It's good because we can, we've got room for error now, and that's what Pommy and I have always been yapping on about. You've got margin for error when you're 8-3, and as I said, the bye comes at a good time. We can just regroup, reset. They can refresh the bodies, and they've got to get to work on the whiteboard because I don't know how they're going to figure out this Wiedering dilemma. Maybe at the mid-season draft, they've got to get a bit tricky, but. I'm not sure how this show is going to go tonight, JP, but good luck with the rest of the fan camps, mate. We'll be right. Stick together, mate. We stick together. We'll be fine.
That's it. Well said, mate.
Have a good week, mate. Enjoy.
Andrew.
Hey, buddy. How we going?
We're good. How are you?
Well, I was just thinking, it wasn't that long ago where it would have been the other way around, wouldn't it? Would have been 3-8. And we were somewhere down the bottom.
Yeah.
So, like everyone else, I'm gutted against losing against the Pies, but not completely gutted that we've lost it. If that makes sense. But I was pretty impressed how the boys are learning how to dig their way out, because that's something that they've not been able to do for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to be under Vossi. He's showing them. And I also can see the maturity level growing with the team as well. They're definitely learning to handle pressure a lot better, which is a big plus.
I mean, we're definitely on the right track, which we've established now through the first 11 rounds. We're on the right track, and the track that we're on is going to be filled with moments like this, disappointing losses. Obviously, this one just means a bit more because it's an arch rival in the ledger, and and all of that. But ultimately, it is 4 points, and we're going to get another crack at them for the ego, and it'll also be worth 4 points over then. But yeah, I think you're right. There's something to be said about the way we just found a way when it just wasn't going our way. And to be honest, we've been doing it for the majority of the year, just accepting the challenge and trying to figure it out. We just fell short, and what do you do?
You just got to move on. But that knock on Wiedering didn't seem too bad on camera. It looked, I don't know, whether I didn't actually see where he actually made contact, but he obviously did somehow. But it didn't look that hard, but must have been. Yeah,
for sure. We'll be right. Get to the bye, refresh, get to the Bombers, put them into the ground, and then we go again, mate.
What do you think about Motlop? I thought he was okay. I thought he had a go.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's good to get 80,000 people screaming at him. It's good to get him in those moments. I think Carroll and even Durden and a lot of them who haven't played in those games, it's good to get that experience because that's a finals type atmosphere. It's not finals, but it's a finals type atmosphere. A lot of noise, a lot of energy. So, I think it'll be good for him. And I remember early in this whole rebuild and talking about how these losses will repay us back. Never really felt it when we're losing by 100 points, but I feel like a loss like that will pay us back because of the way we went about it. So we'll see.
Yeah. No, it's all good. It's all good. It's like I commented on the watch along with Pommy that there's nothing better than beating the Pies in their own territory, but unfortunately it just wasn't to be today.
Spot on. Well said, mate. Thanks for coming on.
Mate, Taz, you take it easy, mate.
Thanks, mate. Sayaf.
Hey, bro. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah. All right, man. There's losses, and then there's those losses. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just fucking any team, bro. But these guys, any fucking team, mate.
I know.
It just hurts. And look, man, it's not like we deserve the win. We probably, if anything, deserve to lose by a lot more than 4 points because we were never in the game. To be completely honest with you, they set up behind the ball perfectly. We just had nothing in forward 50. I don't like using excuses, man, but we had a very depleted side. Going into it wasn't like a big worry, but as soon as Weeders went down, bro, you knew.
Yeah, I mean, talking about the midfield throughout the week, that's where I was confident because I still felt that no matter what, like we had the better midfield. But I don't think we didn't. We didn't dominate the midfield like what we have with this group. So it just goes to show midfielders can be matched or they can be broken even by the opposition. It's the key position players that seem to make the big difference.
Yeah, we were up and about, mate. So I think it's a bit of a lesson. Don't get too overconfident. I was very overconfident, to be completely honest with you. Yeah. Honestly, I didn't think it would have been a close game. I honestly thought we were going to fuck him up. But look, it is what it is, bro. I reckon it'll be a good but a harsh lesson for the boys.
Yep.
We shut up. We'll get them next time. We'll get them next fucking round 23, whenever it is. But it just hurts because any team but this team. Yeah. These guys and Bombers, man, just it's different when you lose to them.
I know.
But, man, look, all right, bro. Sorry, bro. What were you saying?
No, go.
I was saying, no pit in it, main ruck. Wiedering, best defender out. No H. Fucking, you got people in all positions, bro. We're missing. We're depleted. And it's honestly props to the boys for even getting this far. 8-3, and it's massive. It's massive. And it'll get a while to get over it. It'll take a while. But it is what it is, eh?
It is what it is. What do you do?
Level 1 is shit house, bro. I shouldn't have even offered the seats to you, mate. It's fucking shit. Can't see the other side, bro. It's very hard, man. It's very tough to see. So I don't even know who played amazing, who played like I know to an extent, you know what I mean. But my normal member seats at home games, level 2 is just much better. Saad was pretty good in the first half. Not pretty good. He was exceptional in the first half. But then all the boys just went very quiet in the third quarter. And man, that last minute just sucked.
Jack Silvani really just nearly blew the roof off Melbourne. Oh my God, the noise. Yeah,
but like I said, props to the boys, man. They stuck fat.
Yeah,
and they went as much as they could. Obviously, execution had a lot of shit plays we could have probably executed better. Matt always kicked 2 very good goals. Kerno, he's just best forward in the league. It's not even up for debate. It's heartbreaking. That's it.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well said, bro. Lick your wounds, go home, get a nice sleep, and see you in a few weeks.
We'll move on, bro. I'll speak to you soon, bro.
See you, bro. Who we got? Mad Dogs. Let's just wait. When you're not driving, that would be ideal. Chris.
How you going, mate?
I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, I'm glass half full today. I think, when a lot went against us today. So, it's just one of those days. It's not the end of the world. We're 8-3. We're doing fine.
The funny part, or the beauty of where we've come from, is we've come from really bad, diabolical losses. So a loss like that stings because of who it is against. But when you really look at the performance, and the determination and the commitment, it was there. Execution, it probably wasn't, but for all of the game, but the determination and the grit and the real intangible stuff that you want. You want your team to have a crack, which is a non-negotiable. But it was there from the boys. They just didn't get the job done.
Yeah, you just felt like Weeders, like that was one injury too much, and the kind of house of cards kind of fell. I think people don't realise how important he is. He affects the whole team, and you could see the mentality of the whole team shifted. Because obviously, when you lose him, Blay has to move into his position, then everyone has to kind of shuffle, and it gets confusing. And I think that's what kind of happened in that third quarter. I think they just got a little bit confused with what they're really trying to do, and in the fourth quarter they kind of got it. But we're under the cosh, as Pommy says. It was really tough. 80,000 Collingwood homebound, and I think we did fine. I think we've got a much better future than they do, so they can pretend like they're relevant. But we all really know that was probably their best performance they'll have all year.
Probably. They were pretty good last week. They're pretty good today, and they'll be up and about. They'll have a lot of confidence, and good on them. It's good for the league when Carlton and Collingwood are up and about, I think.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing that well. I think they got a lot of players that are going to retire in the next few years that I don't think they're ready to fill yet, and I don't think they've realised. So I think we're in a much better position than they are. So I wouldn't take too much out of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But we should have a little review. I just thought it's a good time to step back and just really look at the first half of the year. So just what would you say if you just took a step back and just analysed just the first half of the year in general now?
We'll definitely do it properly next week once this all settles down from tonight. But overall, I think I said it before. I mean, we're 8-3. That's just the facts. We're 8-3. Are we playing a more better brand of footy? Yes. Do we have, what are the things we wanted to see at the start of the season going in before we'd played a game? We wanted to see, what does the game plan look like? Can we see what we're trying to do? I think we can tick those boxes. We can see what we're trying to do. So we're seeing the things that we wanted to see before round one. I think we've exceeded many expectations, and I think we can be satisfied with half a season. And I think we'll unpack it a bit more as the week goes on, and we get a chance to actually sit and do the thinking. But I'm very bullish that we're on the right track, and that's all you can really ask for. That's what we wanted from this group: turn it around, get back on track, and start looking like a premiership contender.
Exactly. I think we've built a great base this first half of the year that we can really build on moving forward, and that's all we wanted. We just wanted a sort of foundation this start of the year, and we've really seen that. So, to me, full credits. We couldn't have expected any more, and I think we should really be proud of what this club's done in 11 weeks.
Yeah. Well said, mate. Thanks for coming on. We'll get you on in a couple of weeks and talk about a win against the Bombers.
Yes, we definitely will, because they are absolutely awful. All right. Bye, mate. Have a good night.
See you, brother. Zach.
Hey, mate. Oh, look, I'm just trying to kind of gather all the happy thoughts from the wins that we've had to kind of distract my mind from what just happened. Like, the gritty wins that we've had. I think the game tonight just showed that we still do have work. Every team has work to do. Like even Melbourne, they had a loss as well. I think for us though, and I don't want to kind of lean too far onto injuries, although that's a big problem. Kennedy was a massive miss because I think when Cripper went into the ruck, you lose that gritty midfielder to get it out to the wingman, and so the wingman kind of had to go more central and more obvious, like more defensively, like Paolo said. So, it was just unfortunate. And
it's an interesting one. When you really look at it, though, Cripps was in the ruck a handful of times, handful of contests. De Koning played 80% on the field. Now, how much of that 80% was in the ruck and resting forward, I'm not sure. I think it's a little overstated how much Cripps played in the ruck. I don't think he was there for as long as what might be being made out to be. Now, I totally get it. You don't want him in the ruck. You want him to be the person that the ruckman is tapping to.
Yeah,
so I do get it. I totally do. I just don't think. I just think if Cripps is in the ruck around the ground and wrestling, it's not the end of the world because you've still got really good, strong inside players in Hewitt, Chera, and Walsh. Kennedy would have been handy. Dow, I don't think it was poor, but there was a bit of a gap between what Kennedy's output is and what Dow's output was today. It's tough. He's coming in halfway through the year for his first game. The game speeds up. So, some things didn't go our way. It is life.
I think Voss knows his best midfield now, though. I think after that game, he knows his best midfield. Does he know his best team? Well, once we get all these injuries back, I don't even know what our best team's going to be. It's going to be ridiculous. You get all these guys back, and all of a sudden it's the back end of the year. We've banked up the wins, like you said, and we'll actually be in a good position. So you can look at the game and say, it's disappointing, it's heartbreaking. Obviously, it is. But when you get a few days to kind of rest over it, and you think, I guess take the emotion out of it, kind of, and which is hard to do because it's a Collingwood game. But take the emotion out of it, look at the game for itself, and then we've got to buy, and it's come at a good time, I think.
Yeah, spot on. Zach, you're a star. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, mate. See you soon.
We have got a blue bagger all the way from Arizona. Adam.
How's it going, Terry?
It's going.
Yeah. I'd say I'm disappointed, but I'm not devastated about today. I mean, we got close. We were right there. We could have had it, but I'm really just disappointed in the effort, especially in the third quarter. I think it was a goalless third quarter, wasn't it? But was it not?
Yeah,
it's lackluster, and but that Wiedering injury was really huge for us. You could see the heads drop, and it's like, this is going to be a tough one.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. And we have to deal with it. He's the one player that we all knew going into the game and the last few weeks that, if he goes down, then we really will struggle. But, Lewis Young, he's shown that he can step up when required. We're going to put some sort of a system and a game plan where he's going to have to really communicate to his other defenders and probably step up. And we're going to have to bring in that next tall defender, whether it's Brody Kemp or Jack Silvani. I saw him for a moment as soon as Wiedering went down. He went back, and it kind of got me thinking: is that something we might try? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. We'll let the coaches figure it out.
We just have so many injuries back there. Oscar McDonald's out for the year. McGovern's out.
Parks,
yeah. It's like, what are we gonna do? That's gonna be a real head scratcher. But March Spink is coming back, isn't he? In the reserves, and he can play. He's more of a midfielder, but he can play defense, can't he?
No, he's a defender. The only thing with him is he's played 1.5 games. In the second game that he played, he got hurt again. So
just for luck.
I know. I'm just mindful of throwing him in there after he's just so underdone compared to the rest of the league. So, yeah, we're gonna have to figure it out, and I look forward to seeing what they're gonna do with it.
Right. But you know, Terry, if you told me we'd be 8-3 by round 12, going into round 12 by the halfway point, you would have thought that would be a miracle.
Yeah.
Because you see, like, what we've come through and to what we are now. I mean, I understand like this loss is disappointing, but you take 8-3 every day of the week.
Yeah,
at this point,
for sure.
So, yeah, mate.
For sure.
I'm gonna let you go. I gotta get to bed, man.
What time is it over there?
It's about 5 minutes from 3 in the morning. So
I appreciate you staying up with us, mate.
yeah, of course.
Appreciate you, and we'll see you in a few weeks.
All right, mate. Have a good one.
Yeah, mate. Wow. Carl's with an $80 donation says, champions keep playing until they get it right. Chin up, Blues fans. There is time for redemption. Go Blues. Thanks so much, Carl's. All right. Damo.
Hey, mate.
Good. I've had you on after a good win. Now I got you after a tough loss.
Yeah, I know. You know what I'm thinking, really? Like, you know, like when Mackay went down and Kurnow's gone down in the last couple of years, and it's sort of like we've had that backup, yeah? We've had Mackay to back up Curnow. Bloody my missus trying to ring me. She's a fucking Collingwood supporter. Fucking does my head in. I'm not talking to her tonight. I feel sorry about that. I just feel like it reminds me of
I'm gonna have to get you off, brother. Maybe we'll get the phone situation sorted and we'll get you back in. Brad.
Tej, how you going?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Not too bad. I could have been worse, you know.
Could have been worse.
I went to the game. I don't know. It was a bit. I don't know. You went to the game, right?
Yeah.
Did you feel like it was a bit like, I don't know, it was like 80,000 people, but it was like a little bit like weird, a little bit like empty feeling? Like, I don't know, it didn't seem, I don't know, it was just.
No, it sounded like 85, 90,000 to me, to be honest. It was pretty,
yeah, like
it was pretty
went
loud.
like they kicked the goals, but it was just during the game. I thought that was going to be like a lot louder, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm not too upset. Like, I could have been more upset because it was so close. But I kind of we weren't playing good all day, like at all. So I think I feel like that, like we didn't really deserve to win. Of course, I would have been happy if like we end up kicking goal at the end there. But I left in fact with like 2 minutes to go, and then Curnow kicked that one in the goal square, and then I was standing for the rest, and I was like, it's too hard to call, you know. And then I just thought, like, I didn't even see what happened at the end there. And then I just, once the siren went, I went left. It was just, but do you think it was high in Walsh, or I know, like,
I think, I mean, it may have been high on Walsh, but to be honest, in a grand final, you don't want that called. You let it go.
Yeah.
The play right before that, where he's streaming into 50 and he has a shot, Jesse Motlop was wide open. There's so many things you can point to. I'm not going to blame the umpires. It was, you know, if one of those, you know, 5 behinds that the Pies kicked in a row in the second quarter goes through, they're ahead by more. Like, there's so many moments. You know, it was, you know, by the letter of the law, the arm was across the shoulder, but you know, the damage is done.
Head back, they call it, I reckon.
What's that?
Walsh throws his head back, I reckon they call it. Like,
maybe
he plays for it, but yeah, it's a tough call. But they were a better team all day, and I just didn't feel like, that's why I'm not too disappointed about the loss, because I knew we weren't the better team all day.
Yep.
But I the reason why I've been on fan cams is because I've just been soaking it all up last couple of weeks, but now I don't know, I just had to get on and get off my mind. You know, best way to do it with the losses. You know.
Yeah, spot on. No, man, I appreciate you coming on and sharing your thoughts, and look forward to having you on again.
Yeah, too easy. I'll try to jump on in a couple of weeks, but yeah, go Blues. And I guess we bounce back from it. All right, cheers. See ya.
See you, mate. We'll go with another 15. Says that there's controversy. Just watch the highlights. Umpires definitely missed a free kick to Walsh in the last seconds. I think they did too. We'll be interested to know if the AFL come and talk about that. We'll see. Andy.
If the palm has Kerno, then I have cramps right here.
That's your man.
Anyway, my first ever time on here. How are you, Terry?
Mate, I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Just watched the game for myself. Honestly, wasn't that bad. If anything, I'm much more proud for the Baggers tonight, considering our injury list and everything. I'm only 16, so it explains everything.
Yeah, we had a bit of a challenge, didn't we? With
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. Let me call Alex for a minute. I got a friend who's a Collingwood supporter. I'm just gonna call him on for a bit to see his reaction. Called him throughout like the third quarter time and I think half time. It's fascinating, really. Doesn't really matter.
I think I'd rather.
Hey, Alex, man, I'm Blue Bro. It's fan cams right now. Do you want to talk about how you feel the game? Yeah, hang on. Alex, this is Terry. Say hello, mate. No, get him on.
We're going to let that go. We're just going to let that one go. Been doing this long enough to know to let that one go. Damo, let's try this again, brother.
Sorry about that. Yeah, as I was saying, like we've had serious injuries, like heaps in the last bit of time in the last few years. But we've always had backup in those positions. But I feel like Wiedering's injury reminds me is brought a real sour to my body. Feels like when Kudafiti's done his knee. You know what I mean? When it comes to the importance of especially that back line, and we just Kemp's coming through, you know what I mean? But I don't think Kemp is ready to take first or second best forward in the game. How is he going to go against a Lynch or Hawkins and that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
And Marchbank, I've watched some of the VFL games and he's got to work on his fitness too.
Yeah.
It's going to take some time, like it did with Kernell, sort of time. You know what I mean?
I think in the long run, what needs to happen and we're forced now to throw someone like maybe Kemp in the deep end, and you find out a lot about people when you throw them in the deep end. I think Tom DeConey is a good example of that.
But
I think,
don't get me wrong. Sorry, Terry. Don't get me wrong. I really hope Kemp does brilliant and proves me wrong. But it's just, I don't know. It's just I feel, we got heaps of important players in that 22, in our best 22. But I feel that Wiedering, especially after Jonesy's situation, it feels like I think Wiedering's the most important player in our team.
Yeah, he is. He is our most valuable player. There's no doubt about it. But we just got to get creative.
We've got to live with it, don't we?
We can sit here. I promise you, we can sit here for the next 12 weeks and talk about how much we're going to miss Jacob Wiedering, and it would all make sense. It would all be true how much we miss him and how important he is. In the meantime, we've got the Bombers and the Tigers and the Tigers. Tom Lynch, Jack Revolt. So we've just. We've got to be better in the midfield.
1 week at a time, I guess. I agree. It just hurts. All us Carlton supporters right now are hurting. As soon as we seen him put his arm in that jumper, we're like, oh no. But there was a voice at the back of my head. I'm like, Wiedering's a warrior, mate. He'll come back on. You know what I mean? It's a serious injury if Wiedering is going off of the game. You know what I mean? He's just that sort of player, Yeah. But don't get me wrong, as what you were saying before, even though it fucking stings me to say because I hate those scumbags so hard. Those cans make my, excuse my language, but they make my bloody ball like no other, yeah. I can't stand Essendon, but Collingwood. But at the end of the day, they were the better team all day. Yeah, we had our chances in that last couple of minutes. Unfortunately, we didn't take it. But we got away with games where we were a better team all day and we won the close one. Unfortunately, today we weren't able to steal it. But as a lot of people said, we're fucking 8-3. We're in a good position. It's just. Now we need even though, maybe normally Plowman right now isn't in our best 22, like we just got to stick with Plowman, Young, Kemp, and they just got to play their role. Like the whole 22, they just got to play a role and, just try to do the job that they're given on that day. I'm not losing hope. I've been hoping for the last 20 years, so I'm keeping this bloody hope like there's no tomorrow till the day I die. But yeah. Do you feel like I am like just like it just feels painful, because we got no like experienced backup. That's what, But I've got a question for you, Terry.
Yes.
Do you know if there's anyone out there that is worth chasing as a backman? Say, for example, what Gold Coast done with Sam Collins.
The answer is I don't know. I have no idea.
I haven't heard much of like tall backmans, key position backmans, but we just got to trust in those selectors and the people that trade the players in, and we just someone to do a job each week, especially till Wiedering comes back.
If there's one thing I have faith in, it's that the group are committed and they believe brought into the system. So whatever whatever the coaches decide to do over the next few weeks with the game plan, I know that the boys are going to buy into it, and we're probably going to have goals kicked on us that we wouldn't have if Wiedering wasn't there and all of that. But at the same time, we're also going to try and hopefully be a bit more creative with the way we move the ball forward, because that's got to get better still. That's something we can get caught up in a bit. Sometimes that mid-forward, the way we get the ball forward into our forward 50 needs work, and I hope that gets a bit better. And, before we know it...
That's good that I've heard that, because that was what I was thinking today. Even though a few people have said, like, structurally we played a lot better, the handballs and this, that, but at times, especially, it felt like they kicked to Kurnow 2-on-1 too much times, and it was like they'll kick into him like it's Harry Mackay, and they're two different players. And just that real high ball 2-on-1, that's the Harry Mackay ball that he smashes, he hits the pack and it brings the ball down better, I think.
We'll get better at it.
I think within the game we got better with lowering our eyes a bit.
Yep.
And like I think it was the second quarter we had that run when we kicked 4 in a row, and they were all over us. But it all started when they started to slow the game down and they started lowering their eyes, trying to hit targets. Do you agree? Or
I do agree. Yeah, I do agree. Yeah. So anyway, we'll move on. Mate,
we'll have the buy and we'll fucking smash Essendon.
Fucking oath. Take it easy,
Send them
bro.
back to Windy Hill where they belong. On you, mate.
See you, mate.
Have a great night.
You too. Max with the $20 says, tough times make strong men make easy times. Trust the process. Thank you very much, Max. And thanks to everybody that's donated. You've been super generous. I really do appreciate it. We've got a couple more. We've got Rocco, Jason, and then we've got Mad Dogs 3.0. Let's get to Jason. Jason.
Terry, how are you, mate?
Good, mate. Long time.
Yeah, I know, right? Bloody hell, I couldn't believe I got in so quick, but I just thought it was about time I had to jump back on again. Yeah, that was rough, mate. That was really rough. Like I'd been talking to friends and we'd been talking about, we're 8-2 now, and you get to a point where you can drop a few games and you got a bit more comfort, sitting in the top 4 and that, but we're out now. Like what are we, 5th? It just happened so fast. Probably not quite used to that. Top 4, high stakes in every game type situation. And I'd said, I feel like I've been saying, we need to win 2 of the next 3, 1 of the next 2, all that kind of thing. And we got past the Giants and we got past Sydney, and I'm going, oh shit, all right, well, we're getting to a really comfortable spot. And then it comes up to the 3 big rivals, and I've said, all right, well, I reckon we're going to have to drop 1 of the next 3, but it's going to have to, and it's come straight away. And yeah, I don't know, with Weeders out, mate, I feel like I'm really losing some confidence, and I think we still got the wood over Essendon in this one, but yeah, mate, I'm bloody worried. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Wiedering's the vice captain of the club, so he's really assumed the role of general down back there, and he also takes the best forward as well, and gets us going. I just think whether it's Lewis Young, well, it is going to be Lewis Young. We're just going to have to put some more responsibility on him, and what a great opportunity for him. He might have a few stumbling blocks over the next few weeks from a organization point of view and getting everyone ahead of him organized and all of that. But ultimately, man, there's 6 of them back there. They've got to be communicating better. They've got to find a way to find another level of communication and just get themselves organized. Wiedering's not there to do it for him, and it's tougher to do it mid-game than what it is. We've got 2 weeks now to prepare for Essendon, so that back 6/7 with the 7th that'll be on the bench, they've got 2 weeks to get themselves organized and figure out what they're going to do. And mate, we're going to have bumps along the way. This is just one of them.
It's always going to happen. And look, Wiedering was probably the one player. You look at all the media, they talk about our bookends and everything like that. And the one thing that I've heard all year and probably for a few years now has been, if they lose Wiedering, they're in trouble. And geez, when it happened, I almost couldn't believe my eyes. I'm looking at it, and he's holding his shoulder. I'm going, dislocated shoulder, maybe, surely not. And it's, just fingers crossed, waiting for it. And yeah, I don't know, mate. I was freaking out, and I think we covered for it okay. I think Nick Newman really stood up well.
Yeah, agreed.
Even Plowman, look, it's, people say what they say about Plowman, and I'm not his number one fan, but I think he did stand up a few times today. You can definitely see the leadership that Weeders provides out there, though. Absolutely, you can. I think that we missed Kennedy's contested marking today. I think that his versatility would have really done a lot of good for us, but his placement in Dow, love to know your thoughts on what happens with Dow now. 21 disposals, mostly handballs, which is what we ask of him. But Kennedy comes back, say he's fit. What do we do with Dow? Does he stay in? Do we redeploy Kennedy elsewhere? What do you reckon?
I'd play Kennedy personally ahead of Paddy Dow. I think pretty clear. Thought he did some really nice things today. I thought he did some things where he just wasn't switched on and we got hurt on transition, and he wasn't alone in that. I wouldn't write him off just yet. I just think let him really learn off this coaching group. I think for the first time in his career, he's got a coaching group that I have total faith in. So whether it's going to click for him at some point, he might be a Matt Kennedy type where it clicks at 24, 25. That might just be his journey. It's tough, but I think he was far from our worst today. I think he did some nice things.
I didn't mind what I saw from him. I think in his first year with us, at least, I remember looking at him and thinking, I didn't really know what kind of player he was, and I kind of looked at him as a bit of a, he could do it all in the midfield. And now I think he's really found his spot as a footballer. I mean, he'll get in there and he'll get the hands out. I didn't see so much of that burst away from contest from him today that I'd come to expect in his kind of first year or two. But I didn't think he was too bad. And it's the kind of thing where you go, 21 disposals, he wasn't bad. Is it a performance that gets him dropped when Kennedy comes back? Who knows? Guy's probably at a pretty awkward time where he can't get a bit of continuity in it. But yeah, look, mate, I don't know. It's every single year we seem to have this game against Collingwood. I came on 2 years ago, mate, literally 2 years ago, and talked about a game against Collingwood where they have their B graders step up against us, and it's the same thing every single time. And I actually watched it a while back, and I said, they just cut us up through the middle, and it seems like we got no one there, and they just bang, 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 3 kicks in their forward line, and it happened again today. So, mate, I'm not freaking out. It's going to happen. We're going to lose our games, and as you've been saying through the year, we need to be ready for us to lose games. But, geez, I tell you, mate, it still hurts.
Absolutely, it's supposed to hurt, and the reason why it hurts is because we love it so much. So.
100%. Hey, keep up the good work, mate. Really loving the show. And well done to everyone else who's been on fan camps tonight. It's been, it's cathartic, I guess, in the end to get on and see everyone else kind of hurting as much as I do. So, yeah.
Awesome. Great stuff, mate. Thanks so much for coming on.
Cheers, mate.
All right. Rocco and then Mad Dogs. I think I'm going to get Rocco first just because I think Mark will be the great finisher that we need. Before that, Nicholas Bastricos with the $15 says, heads up, boys, guarantee Collingwood don't even make finals. Marchbank needs to get informed to fill our key back dilemma. Spot on, mate. All right, Rock, let's rock and roll.
How are you, mate? How's things?
Yeah, it's all right. We're at the end, so, a bit of therapy. Just, you know.
Well, you know me, man. I'm old school, mate. Like you guys, you hate Collingwood. I wish nothing but death for them, like seriously. We had a rivalry when we were young kids, man. Seriously, I used to go to Vic Park with a baton in my bag because I was scared when I went to the train station. So that's how much I hate that scum. Like when I was traveling today in the train, it was like I was in a scene from Chopper when he's in jail and all those criminals are in there. Like it's just revolting, mate, that whole team. So listen, everyone's going to say Wiedering. Yeah, we lost Wiedering, and Kennedy, we lost him during the week. And Wiedering's going to hurt us for the next possibly 2 months if we're lucky, I think. I think if we're lucky, it's only going to be 2 months or something in the future and all that. But if you just talk about today's game, just let's forget about people. I've been hearing too, if you told me you were 8-3, I would have been happy. Yeah, of course. Yeah. All right. It's all good. But on just today's game, that was a disgrace, man. I don't care that they come back and all that. Like, they got smashed for most of that game, man. We're lucky we didn't get pumped, mate. Like, apart from what, 15 minutes in that quarter and maybe 6 or 7 minutes in that last quarter, they showed us off, man. Like, seriously, like, they were killing us around the contest, man. They were running away from even there. How many times it's side bottom on his own?
Yeah.
I know, don't get me wrong, I'm still happy with the Blues and we're all good. But if we just talk in isolation on today's game, man, analyze that game, man, you can give me all the stats you want, right? They got smashed mentally. They were fucked for some reason. And you say Wiedering. You reckon Wiedering wasn't our defence that was the problem at the end of the day? Probably would have saved it. Who knows? I don't know. He's a great player, but I don't think it was Wiedering that was our issue. Like, seriously, if we worked hard around, and what happened to the forward pressure? Like, until that 5 minutes, Owies was not to be seen. Zero. Like, Durden, he worked hard. He did all right at the start. Motlop was our best kind of small forward. Fisher worked hard. I wish he took some more of those opportunities that he had. Like, he had a couple of opportunities he could have kicked a goal. But I don't know, man. I'm utterly disappointed in that. We remember before this, we were saying 10 goals. We were all thinking 10 goals. That's where we thought we were at against this side. And then we lose by under a goal and saying, I'm happy that they come back. No. We lost by, in my book, 66 points today because we should have had them by 10, mate. So, anyway, maybe I'm just raw straight up. You should have seen me like an hour ago, man. I was bad an hour ago, mate. Oh.
You were hot.
It was bad, man. Like, I'm calming down a bit now. Like, I haven't watched the replay. I don't know anything that happened, only what I saw at the ground, yeah? So, I don't know. But to me, I'm just really disappointed, man. That was terrible, man. And if Voss and the coaching, I know they're probably not going to say it, but if they don't go in there and smash tonight and say, mate, that's not acceptable, man. Seriously, that's not acceptable. Anyway, maybe I'm wrong.
No, I think there's also something in there too, because you think about, I understand the Wiedering thing is devastating, but they still only scored 79 points. It's not like he went down and then they scored 120 points and the defense was just ruined. I mean, at the end of the day, our ability to lock the ball in our forward half wasn't there. And our ability to get the ball to our forwards cleanly wasn't there.
Oh man, how easy was that ball coming out? I was shocked. Like, I've never seen them. All right, so maybe it's an off day in that, but because I've been praising our small guys lately, but today, that was as poor as I've seen, man. Their lesser lights made us look second rate, man. And they always do it, man.
Always.
Do it.
Always.
Oh, and then Mason Cox, look, how do you allow that big banana to get involved in the game, man? I swear to God, I would have punched straight in the face on the first bounce, mate. That's what I would have done, mate. Like, how do you get him involved into the game, mate? And oh, man, like, far out. When he kicked that goal, man, I just put my hoodie on and walk out of the fucking ground.
Straight out. No, it is what it is. We're, a loss was coming. We were closer to a loss than what we were a win at some point. So would have been nice to win 5 in a row. We haven't done that in a very long time. But, let's just see what this – I mean, the coaching group is going to be really tested with their creativity now. I mean, we've been saying it all year because we lose one every week.
Yeah,
and now so whatever they do, mid-season draft, got to find something. I'm not really holding my hat on finding the savior that's going to come from the lower leagues to really save the season. But
we're stretching that back line. We're stretching it a lot, man. It's going to be tough for the back line, and hopefully someone steps up and like maybe Essendon's all right, but we're going to be stretched against like Richmond if we got no one else there. So it's going to be tough. Got some tough games coming up. Look, it's going to be tough. But as far as today's game, like if they're anything but utterly disappointed in that, I'm upset. They've got to be absolutely disgusted with themselves when they walk off that ground, man. Because seriously, we're a much better side than that, man. We've shown it, like how do we let them show us up like that? But anyway.
Well said, mate.
Interesting jumper punch, I think.
We look forward to it.
Yep, done deal. See you guys. Enjoy.
See you, mate. All right. We're going to finish this with Mark. I believe he's not driving anymore. Mark.
Yeah, mate, I'm home. What's up?
What'd you think?
Fucking heartbroken, man. Bloody heartbroken. Heartbreaking. Just
It was.
I mean, anyways, I've got a couple of guys with me just in the car. We're all parked up. So, yeah,
Go Pies.
Yeah, I've got a Collingwood supporter, Nuffy, right here. Don't worry, he's one of the weaker ones. But, no, he's all right. His name's Mark as well, and his little younger brother, Melvin, and his girlfriend, Mel, that we just took off home just there. But, yeah, look, before I get into a few other big details, the most important one I just simply want to address, what is the prognosis with Jacob Wiedering? I'm hearing 1 month, 2 months, potential end of the season. Do you know the full detail? Has there been any reports on that?
He's going to get a scan tomorrow. We'll know exactly how long, but apparently Michael Voss said it was looking a little bit more major than minor. So whatever that means.
Fuck, I mean, right on the eve of the bye, I mean, mind you, I had something pretty special in lined up for you and all supporters, but I've had to change my ways after. I honestly was convinced that I thought Jack Silvani had kicked that bloody goal because, God, that would have been seriously get out of jail. It literally felt like it was going to be a hit and run or, like who shot the barman type style, really. But, I mean, to be fair, Collingwood really should have put us away, especially when Wiedering went down. And to be honest, like the American Pie himself that only had a decent run at the footy because you're having guys that he's up against around our size. Which, I mean, like, if you're not out marking, your 5'5", probably a bit more taller than that, but you get the point, yeah? He should never be dropping marks as he would, and it was really the only time he's ever actually done something really for the Pies this season. But, look, I mean, we fought hard. Considering the circumstances, we are seriously overstretched. I mean, in years past, if we had this sort of injury list, I mean, we're losing games by quite some margin and we're not giving a serious yelp. So, I mean, yeah, as I said, it would have been seriously a big robbery if it had got up. But, yeah, I'm gutted. I'm gutted like every other supporter. I mean, everyone said the same thing, but I'm still proud of the boys. And, look, I mean, it's only just percentage as far as us being out of the top 4. But I mean, at the end of the day, people, we all got to understand of how far we've come from. I mean, we're 8-3, sitting 5th. We haven't played finals, obviously, since 2013. Of course, if we're taking the point of legitimately, we're talking at about 2011. So, well, when we last legitimately made it. But anyhow, obviously the goal was just to obviously get there. So, you know, look, Essendon, obviously, after the bye, I actually found out that they only just lost to Port Adelaide, funny enough. But, no, look, we're hurting. I used this word last week. I'll use it again. We're seething after those Magpies just got the head-to-head ledger on us again. So we've got to try and hopefully even that up around my birthday in a couple of months, or 3 months' time. Hopefully we can do that. But
tough one. No, it's good.
It is a tough one. Who did you thought? Who were our best players or ones that need to probably go back into the VFL? Just thought I'd put it out there.
Give me 24 hours to think about it. But I mean, you know, Walsh, Cherry, Hewitt, thought they were good. I just think it's too soon to be dropping blokes. We'll probably discuss it over the next couple of days. We'll do the show tomorrow night and talk about it a bit more then, I think.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm not really harping as far as dropping blokes or anything like that. I mean, I guess it was already just hard enough with obviously Kennedy being the versatile midfielder that he is. Definitely would have given us another option, even potentially up forward too, as he's proven. But, you know, and still having to have Cripps pinch hit the ruck at times where, you know, we don't want him to, just in case you obviously get, you know, a Cox or whoever else. I'm trying to think who their other ruckman was today, because obviously, you know, it's very odd when they don't have a Grundy out there. So, look, we just got to reassess. We just simply got to reassess. I mean, I haven't really got the same amount of words I would normally like to say than any other week. But, yeah, look, obviously today would have been history. Would have been back to the head-to-head ledger over Collingwood, and 5 in a row was definitely on the cards, which would have been the first time since the year 2000, which knowing with a lot of our viewers and obviously subscribers that you've had to this channel, they've not witnessed anything like that. So that definitely would have been something special for those
for sure.
born from past 2000s. So
for sure.
Look, just got to head up.
Head up. Well said. We'll be back in a couple of weeks, mate, and we'll see you then.
Will there be the fan cams on for the bye round just to have a bit of a, you know, recap or no?
We'll have a week off.
We'll have a week off. Let's fucking maim and kill Essendon. Want serious blood on them. And also, just one other shout out to a Magpie supporter. Went to the same school as well. Aaron Leroy Clark, you fucking cunt, weak dog. Fuck off.
All right. Thanks, Mark. And that'll do the fan cams for round 11. Not great. Obviously disappointing. A lot didn't go our way, but at the end of the day, we were beaten by a better team on the day. And that was all about Collingwood today. We're going to figure it out, see what happens over the next few weeks. Got to get creative with the team again. It's been a good first half of the year, but today was not a good performance and not a good result. The effort, the connectedness, all of that is there, but that is now given. That's now the standard, the effort and the way that they commit themselves. That's now the way it has to be moving forward. So thanks for everybody that came on. Thanks for everybody that donated. That's really, really generous. And thanks for everybody that tuned in. See you in a couple of weeks for our round 13 fan cams against the Bombers. Have a good one, guys. Go the Blues.